Guys, this is the reason why Ashton Hall lost to Ishowspeed 4 times in a race from my perspective. And guys, I want to do something a little bit more fun just because it's pretty fun to see Ashton Hall break down under pressure to actually race Ishowspeed. Now, for those that watch the content of both Ashton Hall and Ishowspeed, you guys are probably wondering how an athlete, at least that's portrayed on Instagram, lost to a streamer. Now, I do want to preface this conversation by saying I do enjoy Ashton's content to a certain degree. I think he can come off as very motivational, he has a very solid physique, and he is perceived to be extremely fast until Ishowspeed spanked that ass. Now, from my perspective, I believe that Ashton Hall lost because of 2 main reasons. The first being he didn't get his morning routine in. And secondly, he didn't have that music or the mask, with the dogs running next to him, the car like driving next to him. Honestly, it was a wrap before it even started. And that's the end of the content. From a coaching perspective, there are actually a few reasons why Ashton Hall lost even before the race began. First, let's talk about Ashton's acceleration and his first step mechanics. Early on in the race, Ashton is showing that he has very limited ground pounding drive and barely any knee lift or knee drive, and this is going to make his strides short and underpowered. It is important to remember for all my athletes or future athletes out there that superior ground reaction forces in your first initial steps are critical. Secondly, his knee drive and stride length were poor. Now, once again, his knee drive was limited, and this as a consequence led him to have a limited stride length and step frequency. Now, since we are talking about sprinting, you ideally want high knee lift and aggressive forward biomechanics for power. Lastly is form consistency and deceleration. Unfortunately, Ashton seemed to slow prematurely and was losing momentum right when races are normally decided. Pro sprinters are able to maintain or ramp up their speed into the final meters of the race. And when it comes to Ashton, an early slowdown costed him the race 4 times. Now, if Ashton wanted a rematch against Ishowspeed and needed some coaching, this is what I would actually recommend him do. First, I would have him improve knee drive and hip flexion by using things like A-skips and high knee pauses. Second, I would train his horizontal force to apply more force into the ground early on, and I would do this by doing more sled pushes and hill sprints. And lastly, I would add reactive acceleration drills like zone speed starts, because clearly Ishowspeed has that in spades. Now, in my personal opinion, I believe that if Ashton Hall does these things, I think the rematch could actually be pretty damn close. Guys, if you guys liked the video, please go ahead and like and follow for more, and I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one.